It's 1 o'clock and a good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for joining us for this pre-match press conference with Verreynne. Kyle, may I please ask that you put your video function on and then we'll get started. Thank you very much. As usual, I'd like to just remind everyone to please put your request to ask a question on the chat panel and we'll take it from there. Who would like to go first? Thank you, Stu.
Thanks, Upokosi. Hello, Kyle. Just wondering, as a start, how much confidence did you draw from what you did in that second test in New Zealand and use it to kind of transfer into what you are required to do in the ODI side?
Sorry, I just want to see if you can hear me. Yeah, I think it's on now.
Yeah, I got you.
Cool, sorry. Yeah, obviously, when you score runs at international level, I think any format that gives you a bit of confidence. So, yeah, I think especially with the 100 in New Zealand, it gave me a lot of confidence. Like I said, it didn't matter what format was going to come up next. I think it was always going to give me a bit of confidence. So yeah, I was really happy with that, and I feel like I'm in a bit more comfortable now at international level. I think that 100 has done wonders just for that self-belief, just to believe that you can play at this level. And yeah, I feel like at the moment I'm in a good space and I feel pretty comfortable at this level. So yeah, it's definitely a massive confidence boost getting those runs in the last test.
Thank you. Heinz?
Hi, Kyle. Thanks for your time. Kyle, obviously the second ODI was undoubtedly a team effort. I mean, particularly in the batting department and stuff. But there's been so much debate, from the more cynical sections of the South African cricket public regarding, the IPL participation of some of your leading stars. And but I mean, you had a guy like Puletsi Museki who said, these guys, even though they're going to the IPL, they are still extremely dedicated and extremely patriotic. And it must be really inspiring for guys like you as well to see how guys like KG and Quinny take the lead in a victory like they did at the Wanderers.
Yeah, I think obviously I can only speak from a personal point of view, but I don't think there's ever been any question over the guys' commitment to the Proteas. I think obviously the IPL is at a period where they're going to miss some international cricket, but I fully believe, and I'm sure it's the same feeling around the camp, that these guys are fully committed to playing for their country. And I don't think there's ever been a question whether their mind's sort of in a different space or anything like that. So yeah, like I said, I've always felt that those guys are fully committed to what's in front of them and playing for their country. But yeah, the way they both performed, those two guys in particular in the last ODI was really good. And I think it just shows that even though obviously the IPL is around the corner and they are going to be missing some international cricket, it just shows that their full focus at the moment is on this series and making sure that we win this ODI series. So yeah, I don't think their commitment has ever come into question at all.
Telford and then Ken.
How's it, Kyle? We saw you keep wicket on Friday, and of course on Sunday you weren't keeping wicket. And I'm just interested to know, how does that change your focus? More mentally, I suppose. Do you get a better idea of the pitch, for instance, if you keep in wicket, or is it a difficult transition to make between the two roles?
I think obviously when you keeping wicket, you spend a lot of time closer to the pitch and you sort of get a good view of what the pitch is doing. So from that point of view, I think maybe you get a better understanding of what to expect if you're batting second and you've kept wicket. But for me, fielding and keeping, it's not too different. I think maybe when you in the field, you sometimes have that luxury of sort of you see what the opposition batters are doing. And in the field, you maybe have a bit of time to sort of think about how you're going to go about it when you step out there, where I think sometimes when you keeping wicket, your focus is you sort of 100% focused on catching the ball behind the stumps and being in the zone for every ball, that you maybe don't get that same luxury to sort of plan ahead and try and think about how you're going to play when you step out to the middle. So for me, I've enjoyed that. When I have fielded in ODI cricket, I felt it's maybe, I don't know, like I said, it's just allowed me that luxury to just think about what I'm going to do when I go out and bat a bit more than if I was keeping. But yeah, I've enjoyed playing both roles. For me, I'm quite happy to do either. Yeah, just happy to be playing, to be honest.
Ken?
Thanks, hi Carl. Congratulations on your half century at the Wanderers.
Thank you.
Kind of following up from that last question, KG said it was still a bit of a mystery after the Wanderers game why in the first ODI you guys struggled to take wickets. Now you kept wickets at Centurion, so as you just said, you had a very good view of what was going on. Do you have any explanation for like the difference between the first ODI and the second ODI? You know, the penetration was very different.
Yeah, I think KG did, might be mistaken. I think he did also touch on it. But from my side, I think in that first 10 overs, I think probably we bowled better at Centurion, to be honest with you. It was just a case of them batting really well. And yeah, where at the Wanderers, there were a couple of, you know, leading edges that went to hand. I think at Centurion, there were maybe 1 or 2 plays and misses, 1 or 2 LBW shots that were a bit high, whatever. So for that first 10 over period, I don't think we changed anything going into the Wanderers game. I think we actually bowled really well at Centurion. And then, yeah, with any form of cricket, if there's a partnership, wickets become tougher. So yeah, with that opening partnership in the first ODI at Centurion, they got a good partnership going. And I think, yeah, then it became really difficult for us to take wickets. So yeah, I wouldn't pin it down to anything in particular. Like I said, I think we bowled really well in both games. It just was one of those days where, you know, the good ball goes past the bat as opposed to taking the edge and so on. Just one of those things.
Stuart?
Thanks, Superkazi. Kyle, just on your sort of own role within the one-day side, where do you see that at the moment? I mean, there's a sense that you may be in competition with a couple of other guys, but where do you see yourself in the South African one-day side, and what are going to be the requirements from you, other than just to keep scoring runs, to cement your spot, you know, looking ahead to some big things that might be on the horizon, well, will be on the horizon in a year's time?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't want to say I'm in a tricky situation, but I think with the batting lineup that we have at the moment, it is quite difficult to sort of get a fixed position and sort of cement a spot. So yeah, for myself at the moment, it's just about being adaptable and making sure that I can bat in any particular position, which I think in this series I've sort of shown that. It's just about being ready that if there's an opportunity in the middle order, that I'm ready for that. If there's an opportunity up at the top, I'm ready for that. But yeah, at the moment, I understand that our batting lineup is really strong, and for me, it's going to be just about being adaptable, and wherever there's an opportunity, making sure I take advantage of that. Yeah, I think obviously you saw in the last game, going in with just 5 bowlers can sometimes prove costly, and I think, yeah, with the batting lineup that we have, if we do need to play a 6th bowler, I'm probably the guy that more often than not will miss out, which I understand. So for me, it's just about being aware of that and understanding that situation, and knowing that opportunities might be limited at this stage, but it's just important to make sure that I'm ready for whatever opportunity there is.
And finally, Carl, we've got a question from EWN who aren't able to use the mic function. Has the team had any in-depth conversations around the precarious position that we are in terms of automatic qualification for the ODI World Cup?
I wouldn't say we've had in-depth conversations about it, but everyone is aware of the standings and where we are and the importance of getting that automatic qualification. But yeah, it's not something that we've spent a massive amount of time discussing or anything like that. For us, it's just important about taking each game as it comes and making sure that we're in the best pace possible for the game that's ahead of us. I believe if we do that, we still got a lot of games ahead. If we do that, I'm confident we'll get the points we need to qualify. So yeah, there hasn't been massive discussions, but everyone in the camp is aware of the situation, and we know what we need to do.
And on that note, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll chat to you tomorrow at the post-match press conference. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks, Carl.